Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to another video. So today it's all about Android, and you are probably here because you want to customize your smartphone, give it a special look, make it faster, or simply get the most out of your smartphone. Well, then this here is the perfect video. I want to tell you something today, really just the basics on what is a custom recovery, what is a custom ROM, kernels, you know, all the words which you hear but you have no clue about them. So today we have here the LG G6, a great smartphone, but today we're making it even greater. And this process is very basic, but it's very risky. So check out all the things down below in the description, and before you start to mod your smartphone, do a backup. But now let's stop talking and let's jump right in.
First of all, I'm not responsible for any damage you cause to your phone by following this guide. You will lose your warranty and maybe even kill your phone. So now once we got the legal stuff, let's jump right in. So basics first. This guide is for Android phones, and the software which runs on your Android phone is called the ROM, and it's based on an Android release. So for many phones there are custom ROMs, which are usually modded ROMs from the community or from some dev team. A good source to find custom ROMs is xda-developers.com. There you need to find the forums thread for your phone model and have a look at ROM and kernel development. For some popular phones, there are maybe many custom ROMs, and for not that well-known brands and models, there are maybe no custom ROMs at all. So usually Qualcomm-powered phones have more custom ROMs than MTK phones, due to the lack of source code. When picking a custom ROM, make sure that you read the whole thread on XDA, because sometimes custom ROMs have also bugs like non-working cameras, microphone problems, or various crashes. In order to flash a custom ROM, you usually need a custom recovery first. On some phones it's possible to flash the custom ROM with a flashing tool directly or load it over fastboot. You need to check the installation documentation for each phone. On the LG G6 you need to flash the TWRP custom recovery first. This is only possible if your bootloader is unlocked. So before you try to flash anything to your phone, you need to check if your bootloader is locked, so just Google that. In easy words, the bootloader is code that is executed before any operating system starts to run. A bootloader is usually locked for an Android device because although it's an open source operating system, still the manufacturers want you to stick to the Android OS version, specifically designed for your device. So unlocking is usually quite similar on most devices, but make sure to check out the unlocking guide for your phone. And unlocking the bootloader will also usually wipe your phone, so make sure that you have a backup of your data before doing that. The most important step is to enable USB debugging and OEM unlock on your phone. USB debugging is required for the ADB commands to work. So basically that whole ADB tool is the software which lets your computer communicate with your smartphone. You can find it in the developer options of your phone. Then further you will need a PC, a USB cable and a piece of software called Minimal ADB. After you have USB debugging on, it's time to start the software and connect the phone. The command ADB devices will show if your phone is detected or not. If the phone is detected, it will show a pop-up where you need to grant the PC access to the phone over USB. If the phone does not show up, you need to play around with the USB connection options and try again. So now it's time to reboot in the bootloader with the command adb reboot bootloader. Mostly you need to get your device ID with the command fastboot OEM device ID. Now this shows you your ID, which consists here out of 2 rows, which you have to copy together. Now you can go to the official LG developer website and request your bootloader unlock. Here it just takes 5 minutes, on Xiaomi smartphones sometimes 3 or 4 days, and you just need to register, put in your device ID and IMEI and press send. You will find your IMEI on your phone package under your back cover, or if you simply dial *#06# in your dialer application. So after a few minutes you will receive a bootloader unlock file, which you can now flash with fastboot. You need to copy the unlock.bin file to your minimal ADB folder and type fastboot /unlock.bin or the path to your unlock.bin file. So now your bootloader should be unlocked and it's time to get a custom recovery. Usually you can get a ready-to-use TWRP custom recovery image from XDA. But maybe if your device is unknown, you need to make it on your own. That's especially on MediaTek smartphones. Also, flashing a ready-to-use custom recovery is not hard, so you connect your phone again, reboot into Bootloader with the command above, and use the command fastboot flash recovery twrp.image.img actually to flash the custom recovery. So make sure again that the recovery image is in your minimal ADB folder. So usually it's only temporary, that means you should now not reboot and boot directly into Android, otherwise your recovery will be overwritten. So follow the instructions to reboot directly in the recovery. And you should also have a SD card prepared with your ROM you want to flash and the SUPAS UZIP or the Android boot repack zips to prevent overwriting your recovery. So now I've simply flashed my root zip from SUPAS U in TWRP and then the phone was rooted. So now I could simply reboot every time into the custom recovery. Before you flash any custom ROM, you should always wipe your data and clear your cache. So then you can directly start to flash the downloaded zip file and enjoy your new ROM. I've decided to use the full mix ROM for the LG G6 because it looks most polished and has good reviews. That's very important. However, it does not run the latest Android 7.1, but you should get something that runs stable, even if the Android version is lower. So trust me guys, it will save you a lot of headache. When the ROM is flashed and rooted, you can install any kind of tweaks you want. On this ROM, there are already some tweaks and Magisk included. The Magisk Manager helps you to download cool and important packages that can improve your smartphone, Exposed Framework, all those things. It also includes various fixes for a bunch of phones. And my custom ROM uses the stock kernel, and I would recommend to use a ROM with the stock kernel too, if you have no idea what you're doing. Custom kernels are nothing but modified stock kernels, and it's done in order to achieve some features which are not present in the kernel provided by the manufacturers. Usually you will only have a small benefit from that, but maybe sometimes it's needed on some kind of ROMs in order to get all the features. So now I can enjoy a full audio experience using the Viper for Android FX tool, tweak my CPU with the kernel manager, and to top all that, I've installed the Nova Launcher Prime to get a super smooth UI which is customized to fit my needs. The launcher is the piece of software which runs on the top of Android and gives it the look. So if you don't like the look of your smartphone, you can change the launcher, but usually you can also do that without root, at least not a system app. And all this was around 2 hours of work, but to be honest, it was worth it.
Alright guys, so we're now here at the end of this video and here comes the final question. Was it worth all that? Well, definitely for me, so the phone is now customized to fit my needs, it looks different, I like it, it's faster and snappier, you notice the difference, it also gained a few points in Antutu, so there is definitely an improvement. Now, not really a lot, and probably on some smartphones there won't be a huge performance improvement, while there are also kernels with tweaks, there is even overclocking on smartphones, which I wouldn't recommend, but well, you can make a smartphone faster. But if your device is crap, then also a custom ROM, custom kernel won't really make it a top device, but it can help a little bit. So I now also have a custom recovery, that's pretty good if you have software problems. I have my backup on the SD card, just load it in, boom, I'm back. I have root access, a few apps which I use, they rely on root access, ad blocking, all that. There are also things which work without root access, but usually they don't run with the full potential, or some things are not working as they should. Alright, so it's really cool, also the Viper for Android mods.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
So there's also the Viper for Android mod, which makes the headphone jack, the speaker sound really perfect. The custom ROM has no issues, that's also really important. If you're looking for a custom ROM, read the whole thread. There are usually known bugs and you're really not, lucky or actually feel good if you have the latest Android version, but there are some things bugged, like the camera doesn't focus or the microphone is not working. So it doesn't make sense to have the latest Android version, but then a lot of bugs. So get something which is maybe one version older, but at least runs as it should. Alright, so that's regarding the custom ROM. Now this process can be different on other smartphones, especially with other chipsets. MediaTek smartphones often come with an unlocked bootloader. Xiaomi phones have MediaTek usually, but they come with a locked bootloader, so you really need to research that for your smartphone. It can be totally different. Sometimes you can flash the whole ROM from a flash tool and not the whole process we've shown here. And yeah, it's just very, very different from smartphone to smartphone. As I've told you before, if you need root access, well, you can also root your smartphone without having a custom ROM. If you want to modify it, get some other things which have already been improved by other people, like the full mix ROM here, well, then just get a custom ROM. You will lose warranty, as I've told you before, but for me, that's not a big deal. So usually I break my smartphones when I drop them. That's not covered by warranty, so I can live with that. If there are software problems, I'll fix it on my own. And if there's a hardware problem, I usually get rid of the smartphone, sell it, or just get the spare parts. Alright, so that was it. If you have any questions...
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. Take a look at the help section in your Alexa app.
Thanks, Alexa. Alright, so if you have any questions, then just put them down below in the comments and I'll try to reply as soon as possible. Check out XDA, read a lot on the topic, and then you will be good to go. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was kinda informative, and I'll catch you in the next one, probably on the IFA 2017. Have a nice day. Bye bye.